Hello, my name is Dr. Lee Warren. I'm the Executive Director of PLIM May, the producers of the PLIM Show, the Power Late Demand television show. We've been on CAN TV some 20 years. I want to thank you viewers for watching over the time and new viewers. But I wanted to invite you to a special spring 2011 Survival Conference. It's very important for you to attend this conference. It's at May 28th and 29th. It's at the Lutheran School of Theology at 1100 East 55th Street, just before 55th and Woodlawn there, across the street from the fire station there. That Saturday we're starting at roughly about 10:30 to 6. There will be a series of lectures that will cover everything from the housing crisis, Also, we'll cover, the dollar crisis, the meltdown, and also things that you should be doing concerning health. Now, it's important that you understand that there is something that is occurring. The signs are here. That's an event that will forever change your standard of living, whether you be black, whatever, white, or whatever color, whatever your religion you are. The world is undergoing a cataclysmic change, and especially here in America. And we have warned you for the last 7 years concerning the real estate crash, before that General Motors, the banking crisis, all of that. Now we're in the second stages of this. And if you are not prepared psychologically, physically, psychologically, spiritually, this will just about be cataclysmic for you. By that I mean this: if you want to save your dinner table and your pension or your savings, you have to make preparation for this. And if you don't, like I said, we're going through a financial storm. You want to be able to survive this financial storm and come out on the other side. Now, if you have not made preparation, then you're going to be forever in a state of impoverishment or poverty, living hand to mouth as a result of not being prepared. It's just like when people, in the country that have, insurance, the tornado would come, they would jump into the cellar, the house would be destroyed, they would come out, the insurance would rebuild the house, and they could continue on with their lives. The problem is most people don't have the insurance. And what the insurance that I'm talking about is that you're looking at the collapse of the dollar in the American economy and the world. Wall Street, in 2008, when Wall Street, those banks failed, and the whole collapse of the subprime market, we're still in the process. We're still in that process, and we're going through another level. Nothing has changed, even though the propaganda is that we are in the economy is being restored, or this is recovery. There's no such thing. So what we want to invite you to these things so that you can take preparation. There's some simple things that you can do that can save you. And in fact, if you can take advantage of this, because there's an old Chinese saying that wherever there's danger or disaster, there's always opportunity. See, for those people that have lost their homes, there's someone that to buy them in a short sale to take advantage of that. So you want to be able to take advantage of what's happening so that you can help yourself, your family, and possibly friends avoid the suffering of poverty. Now, the collapse of the dollar and its purchasing power. Currencies have collapsed continually. In Argentina, you can go back to some of the South American countries, Yugoslavia. They have happened periodically throughout the history, the last 35 or 40 years, or even in the beginning of this country, when George Washington said it wasn't worth a continental. A continental was the currency that we had in the beginning when America fought the British for their independence, and the currency was just totally destroyed. You had to have a wagon load of dollars wouldn't buy hardly anything. So that's what we're trying to make it. You can see the cost of living. If you think things are bad now, if the dollar was to lose 50% of its value, and we import that, this is what you would have.
Question asked, but that's tentative. That will be May 28th. That's the Memorial Day weekend. That's Saturday morning, starting roughly from 10 to 7, somewhere in there. We haven't got the dates down. We're still getting details. By this time, by the 1st of May, 2nd of May, we pretty much have everything locked and asking for volunteers, earth shares, other stuff. Let me say something. Now, as crazy as this is here, let me see if I got this here. Okay. I have a Zimbabwe bill. It is approximately
$1 trillion bill.
It's a $1 trillion bill.
Right.
It's a 50 trillion. I didn't say 50 million. I didn't say 50 billion. 50 trillion. Now let me give you an idea what 50 trillion is. $50 trillion, you can buy the stock market 4 times.
That's right.
Buy the whole damn stock market, every damn thing owned it with this one bill.
Yep.
But we know it only costs $3. $3 American. So it shows folks it's totally what?
Worthless.
It's worthless. $50 trillion, you can almost, the gross national product of America is only 15. So you can almost buy half of what? America with this one bill. So it shows you that's what we know with this. You won't get as far as this, but you can see then how bad things are going to get. As Revelation states that, as Genesis says, that money what? That money failed. And somebody wrote a book when money died. Yeah. And there's something there I'm going to tell you about that we told you years ago when we did Revelation, that you'd be lucky. A single person going through depression would be enough. What we're going through, he can make it because he have enough to feed his what? Himself. Now, he got a wife, a baby, and 6 babies, he in what? Deep trouble. Deep trouble. Because the wages will not support that. And the food will be so high that you won't believe it. So when Yahweh said he's going to, see, Yahweh is a master at suspense. And I said, Yahweh, why don't you just do a quick kill on your own? He said, that's my game. When you bring the suspense out, it does what to the mind? It traumatizes the mind. It's like a woman that's being repeatedly raped. The guy comes to rape her, and he do it 3 more times, and he changes the time. She's in a constant what? Fear and trauma, because she don't know when he's going to come back. So you begin to see, Yahweh said, I will show you my power. Just as a rapist would do, these crazy rapists, they take these women, imprison them, and totally terrorize them. Yahweh said, I'm going to show you some terror. And that's what we are in it, and it's going to be intensified. This is what I'm going to make you bring to your mind. And the quickest way to humble somebody real quick is to take away the penalty. See, and things get real crazy real quick. So I'm going to play one other thing, and then we're going to go to the 12th chapter of Revelation. We're going to reread that again and get it But I just want to say, you're blessed to hear these things, because things like I said, the Daniel prophecy, the 490, people struggle with that stuff, and we consider most of that stuff kindergarten. We're 2nd and 3rd grade. Those that have been around it sometime. I mean, other things, you know, there's levels of understanding of Yahweh. I mean, Yahweh is all in all. And we're not saying we know all of it, but, you know, just like you go to kindergarten, you don't keep staying in kindergarten.
Right.
Forever.
Not supposed to.
Not supposed to. But they do have a program on TV. They tell you, arrested what?
Development.
Right on that show, they telling you what you are. You know, arrested development.
That's right.
See, they tell you what they're doing
Right,
all the time. Arrested development. Somebody that's caught in puberty, they cannot move what? Cannot move forward. That's just a stage of development. That's exactly where people are stuck in various manifestations or other. So we're going to play this. Maybe would you come here and play this, and then this is what he said. Eventually, we told you the banks will close. Let me say this. In 1932, the vision was what? 31. The vision of these charts was in 1931. Well, in 1932, November, FDR got elected. Right. In March of 1933, you see 33? He came in and he told every American going to turn in their what?
Go.
And there was a banking holiday for 3 or 4 days. You couldn't get what out of the bank?
No money.
You couldn't get a nickel out of the bank. Right. Now that was after the election. Now people been talking about the valuation of bank holiday. Wait till after this what?
After this election.
Right, 2012 going into, by the time December, I wouldn't be surprised if spring or within that next year, we have a little surprise with our currency and the banks.
That's right.
The banks are bankrupt. And let me tell you something else. The unions, I told you these people get real pissed off at the money changes. See, all this stuff is a repeat. Everybody know the money changes, the banks have got everybody by the throat. They got everybody with their credit card, their mortgage is all upside down, they done messed up everything. So what's going to happen is, see, we did a show a long time ago on, that's about 8 or 9 years ago, I did a show. And see, all power, as Messiah said, all power. You have to treat all power in heaven and earth. Remember the Constitution said we're governed by the people and for the people. The people always had the power, but they've been what? Paralyzed. They didn't realize what power they got. See, I mean, we don't have, the mothers don't have to send their children to war. The war, all they say, listen, my son ain't going.
That's right.
And 10 to 20 million people don't go. What you gonna do, lock up all the women?
Right.
That ain't working. But what's happening now is the unions have decided, you ain't heard it. I'm gonna play it, I'm gonna show you, that the unions have decided that they're gonna tell, in May sometime, it's on the way up, they said that they're gonna tell all the people not to pay their mortgage. Now what you think is gonna do to the banking system?
Shut it down?
It's over with.
Wow.
See, people that got tired of being messed around. They're like a woman that's been abused by her husband over and over, and she takes us to 3-4 blow his damn brains out. As I said, and so it's a lot of stuff going on. That's like I said, you're in this cycle, you're coming to the end of this cycle, at the beginning of this new cycle, it ain't gonna be another 50, as we presuppose. But that's what it is. So we'll play this. We'll go into the cycles with the Passover. All this stuff is laid down in a chart. It's very simple. It's right there before you. As Dr. King, Dr. Gross said, these charts take your picture. See, and it's there. And the Father said, if you know the pattern, you're able to prophesy and see what's next coming.
Right.
See, it's not hard, but if you watch the signs, if you know a baby is in labor, you don't have to prophesy that she's coming. Because you got a pattern. And what the doctor begins to do is look at the dilation.
Right, that's right.
So, I mean, what else do we need? So, you want to start that? Okay. Listen to what he said.
Hello, my name is Adrian Salvucci. I'm speaking to you from Buenos Aires in Argentina. And I wanted to talk to you about the financial crisis. Everybody seems to be talking about the global financial crisis, but I want to show you, based on our experience in Argentina, that there is no global financial crisis. What you are suffering in the first world is an irreversible, global, systemic meltdown. There's no way of saving it. You might think, well, this is a little bit exaggerated, but I want to show you that based on our experience, perhaps we know better. I have here a coin which is 1 Argentine peso. This will buy you, well, it will hardly buy you a bus trip in downtown Buenos Aires. And yet, if I were to go to 1970, in 1970, this little coin would have purchased you Argentina 4 or 5 times after another. Why? Because since January of 1970, we have undergone 4 major monetary changes where they've knocked off zeros on our currency, 13 zeros to be exact. So this would be worth 10 trillion pesos from that time. And 10 trillion pesos at that time would have probably bought you Argentina 3 or 4 times over. That's inflation. Actually, that's hyperinflation. So when we hear about your inflationary concerns and everything, we've seen that we've done it. We've been through the whole thing. We've been through inflation, hyperinflation, systemic banking meltdowns, currency changes, debt bond swaps, mega debt bond swaps, financial armoring, banking holidays, freezing of bank accounts, just about everything you can possibly imagine, referring to a nation's total breakdown of its monetary, banking, and financial system. So based on our experience, if you were to say, well, what should we do in the United States and Europe? I would say, go to the bank and get your money out fast. Repeat, go to your bank and get your money out fast. And buy anything. Buy an apartment, buy a house, buy a lot, buy anything, buy gold.